Hey guys, Paul here from the DC Health Performance Institute. Today I'm going to be talking about strategies that you can use to get your clients to actually eat some carbohydrates. Now, this is a very common problem for trainers as if we are educated and we are focused on sports science and proper nutrition strategies, we know that having a low carb diet is something that's kind of in vogue. Ketosis is very, very popular, and people will generally go to a lower carb diet as a quick way to lose weight. Now, we know from ourselves, hopefully, that carbohydrates are an essential fuel source for exercise. They help spare muscle, they help with exercise performance, they help with recovery, they help with reducing DOMS, a whole bunch of other stuff. We know that carbs are awesome. And one of the main problems that people have is getting buy-in to the program. So quite often it's hard to convince some clients that doing leg training won't make their legs really bulky, or doing arm training won't make them bulky. So what we need to do is come up with strategies that are going to help clients realize that carbs aren't going to cause them problems. The first thing that you want to do is look at educating a client. So the most common strategy I use with each client is when they're coming in and we're talking about putting more carbs in their diet and you see the fear light up in their eyes, is we need to look at telling them about water retention with carbohydrates, and then also looking at exercise performance, and then looking at the overall calorie balance as an educational plan. So a lot of people, obviously, they freak out about carbs. They eat carbs and they gain a whole bunch of weight and they think it's some magical property of the carbs. The best thing to do is educate them about the concept of carbohydrates and water retention. So for every gram of carbs you have, your body's going to hold on to an extra 3 grams of water. This will still have people freaking out just a little bit because they're going to be concentrating on the scale, but at least gives them awareness that they're actually not gaining fat, that they're just gaining water weight. So that's something that's not as bad, and it's something that can be maintained. With exercise performance, this is something that we stress because with a lot of clients, they will struggle to perform on a lower carbohydrate diet. So what we do is we gradually increase the carbs that they need until they find that their exercise performance has increased. If they're still getting sore from exercise, what we can do is we can increase their carbs a little bit more, and it reduces their soreness. So just like my stacking video, how we stack nutritional interventions, we should also stack how many carbohydrates, how many proteins, how many fats, how many calories we give our clients if they need to eat more food. If we give them a whole ton of food straight away, which would suit what their activity levels are, a lot of the time they're just going to put on weight because their body, it's going to hold on to water, they're eating more food, and they're going to freak out and they're going to get less buy-in. Now, the last thing you want to do is really focus on getting the right amount of food and educating clients about the concepts of calories or energy balance, whichever term that you want to use for it. So if you cut out carbs, yes, you will lose weight because you're cutting out a whole macronutrient group, and we all know that. But the most important thing, like 50% of your results, according to Renaissance periodization, just comes from overall energy balance. If you want to lose weight, you've got to be in a deficit. If you want to gain weight, you've got to be in a surplus. So educating clients about those 3 things, stacking on their carbohydrate consumption, is the best long-term strategy you can do to get your clients to not fear carbs and to consume them in the right ways. Remember, as I've said 100 times before, the most important thing with our clients is make sure they have a good relationship with food. If they're totally terrified of one single macronutrient, that's a problem that we need to address. That's it for today, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.